and welcome to Always in Escrow with Colby Burchin and Sarina Appel. Hello, Colbs. How are you?
Hey, Sarina, how are you?
I am super energized today because we are speaking with LALA Friedman. She is a lifestyle coach, a life coach, a sports nutritionist, and a master trainer and owner of Energize Your Way. She has a solid history of success over a 30-year career in coaching, sales, customer service, business development, and training. She's built successful operations from the ground up, always focusing on building solid work communities for her colleagues and employees. Welcome to the show, Lala.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited. Sarina, I met Lala about 5 years ago, and it was just the weirdest situation how I met Lala. But I will tell you, I was at a real estate exchange seminar kind of thing. I was having the worst customer service. And all of a sudden, Lala comes in and she's like, I'll take care of this. I'll take care of that. Just like on it. And I was like, you are in the wrong area. I'm calling my boss right now. I want you at my office because you are the most positive person I've ever come across. And literally, you know how you have those positive, uplifting people in your life? You don't have many of them. Lala hits it right up there, 100%. You see her all the time. And I was beyond happy. My boss came right away. He drove right over, hired her on the spot. And it was like history in the making. She was with us for a couple of years. And then, of course, she went off, did her dream, which we'll get into on the show. So Lala, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being my friend and being so positive.
Yes, me too.
So I'm gonna get right into it. So what has been your journey? I know, like, from growing up and having kids, getting into real estate, you've done so much, even bodybuilding. Where do you begin? Tell us.
Yeah, so the journey in health and wellness really started at 16. I think I was actually 15 and a half, encouraged to go into the weight room, which at the time, there weren't a lot of women in the weight room. That wasn't a standard, but my PE coach was like, no, you're strong. We got to get you in there. I'm like, okay. So that's sort of how it started. And then I became like a step aerobics instructor. So that you can get the dating of this. Hello, Jane Fonda. Needless to say, it became infused in my journey as sometimes part-time, sometimes full-time, but always doing that, right? And in the transition, I had 4 children, all grown now, and blessed to have 2 grandchildren as well. So, I mean, obviously my eyes dilate every single time I think about it because it's so great. And then, my mother had gotten sick. And so I had sort of put the brakes on everything to take care of her. And, she did end up passing. And I was like, I've got to do something and get out. And here enters Colby. Hello. So I was like, oh, yeah, they need some administrative help over here doing that little thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll just run over there and work for the day. Right. And so I was there working, and that's how we met. And, through the years since the health and wellness was part-time and full-time, lots of different, where I've been a GM and so many different things. I was always in management and in marketing and projects. So I became the business director for Luxury Partners Realty, and that was amazing. It was such a good experience. And then the Kenji, my husband swooped in and said, let me take you away from this. I'm like, is this Charlie's Angels? What's happening here? I'd love to bring you to Hawaii. Marry me. And I said, yes. And the rest is brought us to where we are today. And now I currently focus in on the health and wellness business 24/7. And I love it.
Yes. Let's talk about that. What are you currently doing professionally, and how are you supporting your clients?
Yeah, so I'm really lucky to technology, amazing, right? So we can I'm on an island, but yet my reach is across the United States, and I'm helping people in several different ways, right? I want to find out about them and what they need. So being a nutritionist and a fitness expert, but also the life coaching and lifestyle coaching, because they really work synergistically together. And so for or some people, it's the nutrition that might be the first thing that they want to look at, or maybe it's the life coaching. And so I built this wonderful app and a way to connect 24/7. So at any time, people can send me messages. We can send video links back to each other, and really helping empower and give vitality to my clients, which is amazing. And now I'm taking a very deep dive into hormone therapy. I'm actually going back to school to finish a degree in hormones and specifically about the aging process. And I'm really, really passionate about that. And last but not least, I feel like I'm doing a commercial for myself, but I'm telling you, good coaches and mentors are so important. So for everyone who's watching this, reach out to people who have been in similar situations as you and had success in it, whether business, love, life, moving, travel, new homes. Reach out to those people who really know what they're doing. And so I created a program. It's my beta right now, which is From Stuck to Unstoppable in 90 days. And what I've done with this program is infuse all of those elements all into one place to make it sustainable and to maximize your time. So I'm working with a lot of professionals across the country that they're just trying to fit that in and feel their very best, because it's one thing to be at, oh, you're at normal level. It's another thing to be optimal. We want to be at the optimal level.
Oh, yeah. Full of life. Super vital.
At what point in someone's life do people realize they need a shift? Is there something that initiates the change? What do you think?
Well, everyone is unique with their own fingerprint, their own signature. And I really work in that way. But sometimes those shifts happen when something goes wrong, when they have a wake up call about their health. And I'm always hoping that people will get in front of it versus, be a little proactive versus reactive. But that is one spot where you see a lot of like okay, I've got to do something now. I've got to take care. And so from all the aspects of what I do in health and wellness, a lot of times there's a bottom there. And then that's when that shift says, okay, I'm going to do this, and I've got to reach out and get some partnership and good help.
Yeah, that's really truly it. I mean, you come across, right? You're faced with something in your life, could be professionally, could be physically, and you realize, like, where do you go from here, right? It's a moment in time, and I agree. Everybody is different. I think that also, in these communities that we live in, within friend groups, even within family, we see it in each other, that a shift needs to happen. And that's why I'm so glad you're here, because it's allowing us to really share with the masses that there's potential out there to make the shift for better living. And we want all of our listeners to be living their best lives in a way that's, that provides wealth and provides health. And that's the relevance of you being here on our show. So again, we thank you for the work you're doing.
Yeah, sometimes it's the empty nesters too, the empty nesters where all of a sudden everything that they build, and it's like, what am I going to do for me? I mean, I know, coming from California originally, living in Boston, moving to Florida, right, from Boston. And, you have that moment where you go, wait a minute, what am I going to do for me? Why am I drudging through the snow? I could be in the great weather all the time. And that was part of it too. I was like, oh, I need some more sunshine. So I took myself from Boston to Florida for that, because it's about that lifestyle, right? Which really, oh man, I know Colby and I too talked about it many times. It's like, yeah, you're in the right place. I mean, if you can't get to the island, um, make the island your other home.
Sarina wants to make the island her home.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about Manhattan.
I get you.
No. Boca Isles. Is it Boca Isles to
Hilarious.
you? Yeah. I do love being by the water and being in warm weather. It's still warm here in New York, so I am just sipping up every day and just enjoying it, and also anticipating the change of seasons. And I mean, that was actually a question that I wanted to ask was, from the mental and the physical connection, right? And, how to make that shift, because I know that I'm going to have a slump after the summer. The sun is going to go down earlier, right? Days will get shorter, gets a little bit colder. It's not great, but are there ways to really protect my vitality during that time of year and keep it going and keep pumping new energy? And what would you recommend to your clients that are on the East Coast still?
There's actually, when we look at the neurons in our brain, right? Because the light sensitivity, I mean, there's all kinds of things in regards to even light therapy, right? Where we bring in the light, whether we're looking at reducing for our sleep, better sleep, where we move it into the red light, or we're moving to the blue light for the morning and the energy. So there are some really great strategies. There's actually some 5 to 10 minute workouts that you can do at home that energize. You can feel the blood start to circulate, and you can do it at any different fitness level. There's also some really great protocol about getting light into your eyes as soon as possible. And so, not to spend a lot of money on big gadgets. I'm not a person who wastes money, because we've got to start the day with that energy. And it's not about, I'd like a fourth cup of coffee. It's about getting our body to respond. One of the things which is great for digestive health, which is super simple and actually energy as well as you transition into the darker season, is a glass of lemon water. Well, how simple is that? And we're talking about just a few ounces as soon as you get up. So it's the first thing that you digest. So it's not before you get your coffee. Go get your coffee. I love a good latte, right? Okay. Yeah. So absolutely. I'm happy
Cheers,
to
my
see
friends.
to you.
But mine is water and coconut water. I'm not actually drinking coffee.
Mine's water
but
too.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. You got to get your
I
hydration in.
stopped coughing.
That's really important also, is that we hydrate, because you could feel a low of energy, even for most people at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Have a big glass of either room temperature or cool water, depending on the way that you like it. It will actually give you an energy boost. It's very interesting and very simple, but we don't think about that. We go to make ourselves another cup of coffee. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people will then go, I'm having this 2-3 o'clock slump. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. Happy to send you quick little links where you could look at that morning protocol in regards to getting the energy up, no matter what your fitness level is. And then, of course, some links to just a few things that really help. But the science is amazing. You can make a difference even when the seasons get shorter, to keep your mindset in the right place so that you have the energy and vitality you want to bring to the people you love, not just the work that you do.
Oh, yes. Bring that light in. I love it.
I think a lot of people, that will resonate in a lot of people, because that's all you hear is like, oh my God, it's getting darker. I'm so, I'm drowning.
And I do feel that that burst of energy with just a nice tall glass of water in the afternoon. I've tried to make that switch where I'm not drinking any coffee in the afternoons, and it's hard because we're running after 2 kids and still managing multiple clients and jumping on podcasts and having conversations. So, I want to be at, my best, but I also know that coffee is not sustainable. Water definitely could be more sustainable. So,
and I think simple, that's the main thing to me. It's like, let's not get so complicated with all of the steps. I'm talking about 3 steps to help you have more energy throughout the day. It's not something where now you have to invest. As you said, you're running around, right? You're working, you've got your kids, your grandkids. I mean, life is full. We need to keep things simple so that we can really maximize your time and your energy all the time.
We hear you've been working on a skin protocol. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so it's the thick and thin of skin. And so, one of the things that I found through listening through to my clients, right, is that whether you're on a weight loss journey or you're recomping or just aging where the skin becomes a little bit more lax, right? We turn around and we go, why is that, sort of doesn't have the same type of elasticity that it had? Well, before, right? Our skin is our largest organ, and I find that people aren't taking good care of it. So there's a simple protocol. Again, I like to keep it really simple that takes 30 seconds before you go in the shower and maybe a couple other times a week. Where you do a wrap protocol, and I guarantee significant change in your skin if you follow this protocol. I have people actually take pictures before, especially could be the tricep area, inner thigh, sometimes on the side of the glutes. There's different places, maybe even at the lower part of the abdominal wall, especially if you've had children, right? You've expanded and then brought that back. Again, like I said, a weight loss journey, recomping, where we're re-changing and sort of your shape, or just plain aging. I love it. And so it is a free gift that I give to anyone who wants to just take a look. There's a video of me doing my thing. And one of the pieces is dry brushing. And so dry brushing, people are not doing it strategically. And some people who already do it. And if you're not doing, wow. So you're able to drain the lymph system. You're stimulating the skin, and literally 30 seconds before you get into the shower, right? You're doing strokes all coming towards the heart. You'll feel your skin really come alive. And that with the other couple of steps, yeah, true difference. I tell people take a photo, about 4 weeks later, take another photo. And we're able to see how much of a change that it makes very, very quickly. Because I think that anything that we can see results in 30 days, it's pretty darn amazing.
It's a dry brush. It's a special kind of brush.
Yeah, so you're using a dry brush, and so yeah, and so some people dry brush, but they don't dry brush with content with intent, right? They're just no. We want to strategically dry brush, right? So we're getting maximum benefit, but it's 30 seconds, and you just right before you get into the shower. I don't believe in spending a lot of time. And then there's a wrap protocol where you wrap the skin, you become a sandwich. And you wrap the skin again. You're using like a cellophane that you already use, right?
For the sandwiches we're eating.
Exactly. And we're putting a rich cream. I have a couple of ones that are very inexpensive that I recommend. They're actually a mineral oil. And what it does is we're stimulating the skin, and then now we wrap it and we infuse it with that moisture so that it really goes deep into the skin. So it penetrates, right? You can do it in your cardio if you do a cardio routine. You can also do it. I'm on the computer. I'm going to go ahead and wrap those areas, and 15, 20 minutes, and then you just kind of damp the sweat off, right? Because you will start to sweat a little bit in there. And yeah, the difference that it makes in your skin, because we're not nourishing our skin. We think about, especially women, I'd say we think about our face and our décolleté potentially, but we're not thinking about our total body. And then we look one day and we go, oh, wow, right? We lean forward and we see the looseness that's in the lower part of our chest, or, especially I'm in my 50s. And so I've noticed just from 3 months, and you go, oh, wow, that's new. Hi, welcome, skin to the to the team. And yeah, it's amazing and super super simple. It can fit into anyone's lifestyle, and that's what's important to me. And it makes a great difference. Brings on some beautiful skin.
I love that you're doing that and offering it. And it's never too late to really jump on this. Everybody, listen. LALA is here to energize your way, okay? Energize your way in so many ways. So I'm so pumped up. I'm so excited for everything that you're offering. And we're going to share links. And we hear that there may be a little exercise that you want to show us too. Do we have time for that?
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So I'm trying to frame how the best way to express it. So you can look it up online as well, but it's called a vacuum. And it's been around for a very, very long time, but it's not as commonly used. But it's a super important abdominal exercise that anyone can do because it can be done laying down on all fours, like a tabletop, right? It can be done standing up. It can also be done in regards to a crunch. And here's what it does. So, our stomach, our abdominals are made up of several different muscle groups, right? But the transverse abdominals come across in that east west, right? Versus our abdominal wall is north south. And so those transverse abdominals work as a girdle to literally pull in your core. So the cool thing about the vacuums is not only do you get the strength, but aesthetically, it can make a big difference. So I'll use myself as an example. After children, I've been fit for obviously many, many years. It's something I do, it's part of my lifestyle, and I love it. But I thought, oh, my waist will never go back because I didn't realize that I should be wearing something really super tight after my children, right? So when my children were born, as soon as you get to that stage where you're released to go do whatever you need, you wear something tight because the hips have expanded and it's been widened to make room for the baby. And so I thought, oh, that's my waist. My waist is just going to be 2 inches bigger than it was prior to kids. There you go. So I started doing the vacuums on a regular basis. I've known about them. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, has them in his bodybuilding book. I mean, this has been around for forever. I lost an inch and a half off my waist. And that's not fat. That's literally a transformation that I made in my waist. So as a bodybuilder competitor, that really helped me because that's all about the X, right? You bring it in as tight as you can, you're wide in the front. And so being an over 50 competitor in the bodybuilding, wow. So here's how the vacuum works. Here's the fundamentals, okay? What we want to connect with is that abdominal wall. I'm going to change this just a little bit so it's a little bit lower. So we're breathing the air out all the way as we make a C. So I have my little shorts on today. Hello, yes. So I'm going to show you from a bent over position. So what we want to do is we're going to curve in a C. So we're going to imagine that we're pulling the belly button. You can do this from laying on your bed. So somebody who's like, I can't even stand right now. I broke my leg or I have arthritis in my knees. No worries. You can do this. You're just going to do it laying down instead of being upright. So you pull your body, your abdominals in a C. Think about pulling that belly button to your back. But as you do that, you breathe. You basically breathe all of it out and pull it in at the same time. So it looks like this. Quick up through the nose, which gives it that other pull. And basically it drives all of that. And you've got to practice, but you'll feel the contraction. There's awesome videos online too. If you just put in vacuum abdominal exercises, you're going to find men and women, all different. Look for those, by the way, that aren't just Instagram fitness people. Like, look for those that have some good certs, right? But great examples. But that contraction, so pulling that in, amazing, amazing. And you'll start to really feel that strength perspective. How great is that, right? Because that's our core. And then from an aesthetics, yeah, you're going to find an amazing benefit from it. I highly recommend it. And of course, anyone could reach out to me too. Happy to support their journey and get connected with that. Great exercise. I think everyone should do it. And abdominals can be worked every day. So it's the only muscle group that we can actually work every day. So obviously, if you're super, super sore, take a break off. Take a break. Like just take the day off. Don't. But if you feel good and it's just like, oh, I feel a little activity, 5 minutes. So we're talking about maybe 3 to 10 sets. Hold for about 10 seconds, right? So you're pull, 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 pull. to get that last bit in, and wow. And you can do it on all fours. So those that do yoga or tabletop, you can even do it with your stretching. So if you know about cat cow, you could do that abdominal work and then be on all fours and, go do your cat cows. And that's really great for flexibility and overall synergy.
Fantastic. Oh, that's so fun and really something that can be done every day. Like you said, it can be done in your bed. I am definitely going to try that. I was just trying that in my chair.
3 minutes.
I was just trying that in my chair, and I'm fabulous. Well, right after the show, I'm going to get into my vacuums.
Yay.
Yes. So everybody, you've heard Lala speak to us. Please seek her out. She is so full of advice and inspiration. Tell us how everybody can find you.
Yeah. So I am on social media. So if you're on Instagram, I'm Coach Lala __. You'll see my picture. So it's easy to find me there. I'm on Facebook as well. Everything is very open. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not hidden, but my email is lala@energizeyourway.com. So you can send a message anytime that you want. Love it. I'd love to hear from everyone and be of value, because that's truly why I do what I do, is that I want to show up for you and make a difference. So if you're ready to show up, I'm ready to show up with you and to see how we can really bring you into the full vitality of the life you deserve and should have. I'd love to connect.
Well, we want everybody to know about you. This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
I think people are going to reach out. Amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. And one last little note is that don't be afraid of injury. Because sometimes we get injured and then we think we have to stop everything. You just need good coaches and mentors and partners that understand what they're doing and can help you get creative. I just recently broke my toe all the way through, tore the ligament. And so I'm getting creative even with my own workouts. You can do something. So never think that you can't do anything. You can do something to help yourself feel better every single day. And life happens. So understand that we just need to think outside of the box.
Thank you. Let's go, everybody. All right. Well, Lala, thank you. And
thank you for having me.
We will be seeing you again soon. Thank you for coming on.
Pleasure. Mahalo.